This is recorded fanfiction with You'd Fit My Lonely Arms So Perfectly by Box of Wonder. This story has been approved for general audiences and is composed of 6 chapters. Enjoy! Chapter 3. You Can't Just Buy Cookies. This particular evening finds him nursing a cold and lonely drink, perched up on a bar stool and listlessly staring ahead. After the telephone wouldn't stop staying aggressively quiet, it had felt aggressive all right, and Yui had given him yet another angry lecture which had been harsher than strictly necessary, really. Well, Daichi had decided that a drink at the place around the corner couldn't be that bad. There's not really much to see here. It's small, there's barely any people. Only a low murmur of voices and occasional laughter, which makes him frown because Daichi is becoming alarmingly bitter about feeling even more lonely now that he was actually out. His empty flat felt less empty than being alone in the middle of people. And well, at least nobody has to see what a lonely loser he is. Here, anyone can see him hanging around and drinking by himself. Ugh. This sucks. Moving sucks. Knowing nobody sucks. Not having the guts to just fucking call Suga sucks. And this beer tastes shitty. The hair of the guy leaning on the counter across him sucks too, and the smirk on his lips riles Daichi up, even before he opens his mouth. And then it all just goes downhill from there. "Looking pretty lonely there, huh?" he comments, words all laced with fake pity. Daichi's gaze snaps up, and he violently denies to himself that this kind of distraction is actually sort of welcome to him, instead cursing the guy out in his mind already. "It's none of your business. You'll scare all my customers away if you just keep scowling into your drink. It tastes like shit anyway." Now the whole thing is getting personal. And how sad is it that this is the most fun he has had since Suga hung up on him? "You got anything to say about my drinks? You can be glad I don't want a refund. Have you ever tasted this stuff?" The black-haired guy stares at him long and hard. "Sure," he deadpans. "I always drink on the job. It's what we do here." The sarcasm is lethal and leaves the silence Daichi knows he should break with something witty. But he hasn't met an asshole like that in a while, so his skills are all rusty. Jeez, he sucks at that whole social contact thing as a whole lately. Pathetic. "Tell you what," the guy drawls, and it has Daichi wary immediately. "I'm gonna change your drink for something better. On the house. Now show me that pretty smile of yours." Daichi really wishes this bullshit wouldn't get him so riled up. But there's something about the face of that guy that is just really inviting for a fist. It's not even Daichi's fault, okay? He makes a point of scowling even harder, but lets this guy take his glass away and whip up something new that looks completely ominous. Everything inside of Daichi tells him that he really should not even touch this stuff. But there's a challenge in the eyes of that goddamn bartender, and he'll be damned if he'll duck his head instead of living up to it. No time for hesitation. He puts the glass to his lips, downing it in one go, and nearly spits the stuff into the guy's face. Somehow, through nothing but fucking willpower, he gulps it down, throat and eyes burning, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't help coughing. Jesus fucking Christ. "What the fuck was that stuff?" Daichi wheezes. That could positively burn any sickness from your body, and any health as well. No way in hell he'll touch more of it. The bartender throws his head back and cackles, slapping his palm on the counter with entirely too much glee and pride in his dumb fucking prank. "I fucking love it. Anytime, any fucking time, and they try to gulp it down." "Oi, Koro!" someone calls from the other end of the room. "Don't tell me you did the complain and burn again." "Damn right I did," that Kuro guy calls back, still grinning like a fucking cat who caught the fattest mouse without doing as much as lifting a paw. Unreal. The one who called comes over, his face giving Daichi an immediate sense of calm and companionship, because he looks just as done as Daichi is with Kuro's shit. That one's really getting old. he tells Kuro, and takes a seat at the stool next to Daichi. Don't be a spoil-sport, Akashi. You want a sip, too? Akashi doesn't answer. All he has to do is lift his eyebrows. He's so unimpressed, Daichi barks out a laugh. Behind him, there's another guy joining them, tall and broad-shouldered, looking as if you could scream right into his face and he wouldn't be disturbed, as if the sea would break before he would. Kind of intimidating, but so calm, Daichi is grateful that there are people who aren't like goddamn Kuro. Wow, that guy. He still kind of wants to punch him. Hey, that was unfair. You owe him, the third guy demands, taking up the stool at Daichi's other side. Daichi feels as if he's just passed some weird kind of initiation ritual. Yeah, Ushijima. Always so proper. Jeez. Kuro chuckles again and gets up to come back with another round of drinks. Daichi eyes the glass he puts in front of him warily, not trusting anything anymore that fucking Kuro serves him, his hand itching when Kuro notices his distress and laughs about it. Nah, you earned the good stuff. Daichi huffs and tries to give it another shot when Akashi and Ushijima take up their glasses without hesitation. He's gotta admit, this stuff actually isn't bad, and having company is much better than staring at a wall and hating his life decisions. What's your name, newbie? Newbie. Sounds as if Daichi's 15 or something. God, does he hate Kuro. It's Daichi, he tells him anyway, mostly for the other two. They seem like they could be decent guys, actually. Welcome to the Black Cat, Daichi. Why does he have the feeling that he just signed up for a membership? It's not that bad. He'll have a drink with these guys and maybe come back sometime, in the hopes that Kuro is not here and the other two are, and since he's got paperwork to do even on the weekend, he'll go home early anyway. Being responsible is the only thing he still trusts himself with. Okay, Sho. Whoa. Words aren't his friends anymore. But those guys, geez, are those his friends? Unfortunately, his brain is sort of betraying him, too. Fuck. Wait, where was I? Cookies, Kuro sighs. Plants, Ushijima supplies, with a lot more enthusiasm than Daichi would have expected. Right, wait. Man, what did he even want to say? Daichi has no idea anymore. That must have been Kuro's fucking devil stuff. Or maybe the fact that somehow a new glass always appeared before him, and Daichi just kinda kept drinking and talking, and why on earth did they end up talking about Suga? What is this? What is his life? That guy, Asahi at your work, Akashi says, who's called the same as his friend? Dude, that's not a coincidence. Akashi taps the table as if he's working out a great mystery, a discovery that is absolutely crucial. Then Daichi realizes that it is. This is about Suga after all. He can be so glad to have people who know how grave the situation is. You've got to ask him. That's your way to get back to him again, right, Ushijima? The man nods earnestly, his brows furrowed in concentration. You have to give him cookies. Never in his life would Daichi have imagined a man like Ushijima to tell him that he should get his crush cookies. Life sure is amazing. What, I just buy some cookies and give them to Asahi? Really? That goofball's is nervous all the time anyway. Not sure his nerves would suffice. Love will have its sacrifices. Kuro adds helpfully, and earns a jab in the ribs by Akashi, and both of them end up bickering about something. Ushijima does not have time for unnecessary things like that. He looks as if he's about to perform open heart surgery to save a life. You can't buy cookies. You have to make them yourself. I can't bake, Daichi tells him, because duh. All you have to do is stick to the recipe. I'm pretty sure it's not that easy. You can't just buy cookies. But my cookies will be shit. I'll give you a recipe. You can't just buy cookies. Fine. I'll do it. Please stop saying you can't just buy cookies. Oh my god. But you can't just buy cookies, Kuro shouts into his ear. Daichi is pretty sure he did not punch Kuro. Kinda. To be honest, he's not exactly sure at all what happened after that, but hey. He wakes up with the worst headache he has had since he was a dumb teenager who thought drinking too much was fun. Fuck. The night comes back to him in embarrassing bits and pieces, and he makes water and painkillers his breakfast, and inwardly cusses out the sun. And then it all comes crashing down when he sees the black marker on his arm. I brought your drunk ass home and know where you live, so you better come back and pay for your drinks, asshole. Kuro. Fucking Kuro. No one else could have done that. Also, holy shit, did he punch Kuro yesterday? His knuckles hurt. Holy shit. He'll have to apologize. Oh man, this sucks. What the fuck? Daichi makes a mental note never to drink again. Ever. When he catches a glimpse of more notes on his other arm. It's an entire fucking cookie recipe, scribbled on his skin in neat letters. Incredible. When he enters the Black Cat again, Daichi expects a multitude of things to happen, most of them including a punch or some yelling. Well, he gets the yelling. As soon as he enters, and it should be way too early for anyone but Kuro to be here, some guy at the other end of the room jumps up and starts talking. Daichi assumes he's talking to him. He seems to treat it as such, but honestly, this dude has no indoor voice. Oi, Loverboy! You're Loverboy, right? Daichi is not sure whether he should be more offended at the nickname or the weird hairstyle the guy's got going. All his alarm sirens really turn it up when the stranger comes running over. Come on, you are, right? Young love. Awesome. I've heard tons about you. You should totally show me that punch again. Man, I wish I'd been there. I'm not here for like one night and miss all the cool stuff. Oh shit. Oh man, whoever this guy is, he knows about what happened last night. Well, that isn't worrisome at all. The stranger beams at him, seemingly all honest excitement and glee, and Daichi feels like walking out backwards until his back hits the door to his own home again, and then staying in there for a while. Ooh, what's that? The stranger's gaze zeroes in on the paper bag in Daichi's hands, and he grumbles instead of saying anything back, because he spent his day, A, with futile attempts at scrubbing Sharpie off his skin, and B, yes, he did spend his day baking cookies. And now he wants Kuro to have some as an apology. And, well, somebody has to try them. And if they're horrible, Daichi will laugh at him, and it will be satisfying anyway. Only this plan doesn't work, because weird hairstyle, no indoor voice guy snatches the bag from him and shoves the first cookie into his mouth, still grinning as he munches and mumbles around it. Man, these aren't bad. Ushi's recipe, yeah? The fuck's the ruckus, Bokuto? Kuro stops and raises his eyebrow at Daichi, still standing with his back to the doorway because Bokuto has not let him take another step inside yet. And Daichi had not felt like it anyway since the guy showed up. Here to pay your debts, Loverboy? Why is everyone calling me that? Daichi snaps, all his plans to be pleasant and properly apologize thrown to the wind by Kuro's smirk. God, does that guy push his buttons by sheer existence? 'Cause you spent 2 hours talking about a cat guy who drunk dialed you, Kuro says, all dry, no apologies or fucks to be given. The bag Bokuto is still holding hostage has his attention, though. Ooh. Hey, did Ushijima actually get you to do it? Man, I can't believe it. Hey, Bo, hand those over. I want some, too. They're for him anyway, but Daichi can't bring himself to tell him. Okay, no, maybe an apology. A tiny one. For punching him. Sorry for yesterday, you know? And he didn't drunk dial me, he was perfectly sober. Suga's just a little strange, but not in a bad way, He stops himself there, and when Daichi closes his mouth, he realizes that this is exactly why they call him Loverboy. He's so far gone, it's not even funny anymore. Kuro laughs at him, cheeks stuffed with a handful of cookies, but has the decency to only pick up the teasing again when he's swallowed. Could be better. I'd try again if you want to win a heart. And holy shit, Daichi, did you just try to apologize for punching me? That's what you meant, right? Well, you piss me off, but I shouldn't have done that. Kuro bursts out laughing. He actually doubles over. Daichi's offended and considers punching him again. Just, 'cause he deserves it. The frickin' Bakudo guy joins in with the laughter, and Daichi just stands there, honestly considering just leaving before Kuro speaks up again. Or more like wheezes. Pathetically. You didn't even hit me. I mean, you tried, but you just punched the table instead. Oh, well, that. And then you muttered, Yui won't let me live that down, before you basically passed out. Bakudo claps him on the back with too much force. I love you, dude. You're so funny. Glad to have someone like you around. Except he's not around. Daichi's gonna leave soon. He came to pay and apologize. Unnecessary. Fucking unnecessary. He doesn't mean to stay. Not today and not in the future, and... Now, time to pay up. Kuro claps his hands, all glee and a glint in his eyes, and Daichi knows that this is still about the time he meant to punch a guy and hit a fucking table. And sit down. Usajima's gonna be here soon. He meant to check in on you and your cookies. Damn, that just lost me $10. Didn't think you'd actually do it, man. He'll be so proud. Daichi spends his entire day in the goddamn Black Cat, and he can't explain how or why. They come up with another excuse why he needs to come back every time. And he does, for a few minutes, but then he stays until it's late. He's not even drinking. He just keeps hanging out in this weird bar with this weird bunch of people, and he's in increasing disbelief over what his life is becoming. Especially since he spends the next days doing paperwork between the chaos in his kitchen. It never stops smelling like cookies in his flat, and there's always some flour left over on the counter. But Daichi likes the smell when he gets back, and he hates it less to come home since he's not cooped up there anymore. He brings new cookie batches, devoured by everyone and criticized. Kuro always tells him he won't win a heart with this. Bakudo always loves everything. Akashi tells him they're not bad, and Ushijima writes note after note of what he should change. Batch number 5 does the trick. Kuro shuts up. Bakudo begs Akashi to let him use the kitchen again, which Akashi refuses on grounds of horrible stories about emergencies at 3 a.m., flames, and a neighbor's kid called Hinata who ended up in the hospital with fume poisoning, and then excitedly begged Bakudo to bake with him again. Apparently his friend had been jealous over him getting to ride in an ambulance. Daichi wonders how on earth he keeps hanging around all these people. Ushijima pats him on the back and tells him he's done a good job, and it makes Daichi prouder than he wants to admit. Only, now he'll have to talk to Asahi. Damn it. And anyway, when did his love life get the topic number 1 in this goddamn bar? Asahi looks about 3 more sentences away from starting to shake so hard he'll just vibrate out of the room. Maybe calling him into his bureau wasn't such a good idea. But this is so embarrassing, Daichi doesn't just want to show up at Asahi's desk asking him. God, what is he even doing with his life? Say, you wouldn't happen to have a friend called Suga? Words are out, cards on the table, no going back. This is so ridiculous. The interesting thing is, Asahi seems to settle, and something flashes in his eyes that takes Daichi off guard because he would not have expected it from his wimpy coworker. He actually looks fierce. No other way to describe it. In fact, I do. Why is his voice stronger than ever now? What do you want with him? Daichi had not known Asahi could be like this. Damn. It's... Why is he suddenly the one fumbling for words now? He has 2 cats, right? Princess and Buttercup? Saying those names out loud sounds so horribly cheesy. Daichi wants to curse the lingering taste off his tongue. His words make Asahi stop trembling completely. Suddenly, he is an actual presence in the room. Doesn't look as if he's trying to hide away. No, this man is standing his ground, aware of his own height. When he's like this, Daichi actually quite likes him. Yes, that's Suga. As I said, what do you want with him? That sounds so protective. Holy shit. Then again, Daichi is asking him strange questions about his friend. he should not know so much about. Well, time to make this even weirder. Could you please give him this? Asahi takes the bag as if it might blow up in his face, brows furrowed. It's important, Daichi hurries to say, because he's afraid Asahi might dispose of the cookies in some trash can, and he worked way too fucking hard on finally getting them right. Asahi seems to pick up on the urgency in his voice and nods earnestly. It reassures Daichi somewhat, because there's a high chance Suga will actually get them. But that's also the most unsettling part of it. He's not in the bar tonight for the first time in nearly a week, and it gives Daichi too much time to think, and the phone too much time to stay quiet. The silence gives him room to panic, and that's exactly what he does, right up until the phone actually rings. I think those cookies are magic, Suga tells him first thing. Daichi smiles, his eyes fluttering shut at the sound of his voice. How could you miss someone that much when you only talked to him once? So you won't come beat me up with your crutches? Tell you what, I got rid of them already. Good thing for Oikawa, that mug-stealing devil. The only reason Daichi doesn't assume Oikawa is a third cat is that he heard that name before somewhere. And well, it's not nearly cheesy enough to be a cat named courtesy of Suga. Also, cats don't actually steal mugs. Who's Oikawa? My neighbor from hell. I had him over for bad movie night today. Have you ever watched Rubber? It sure makes you question humanity as a whole. Whatever Rubber is, it can't be worse than Birdemic. Birdemic? Watch it. Trust me, you will weep for your sanity. Oh Lord, Oikawa's gonna love that. Maybe the cookies will let you survive it. Yeah, he's getting back to the cookies again. He's damn proud of those, okay? Those cookies could revive me from the dead. Forget true love's kiss. These cookies are what it's all about. I could kiss you. I mean, 'cause, they're really delicious. Suga stops abruptly, and Daiichi's brain goes blank. There's several heartbeats of awkward silence before Suga clears his throat. Yeah, anyway, how have you been? I missed you, is the first thing Daichi blurts in response, which is highly accurate and highly embarrassing. Suga chuckles, warm and nice and wonderful. I missed you too. I thought you forgot about me. I mean, I'm just the strange cat person. You're Suga. I won't forget about you. Actually, I thought you'd forget about me. What? That's ridiculous. They're both silent for a second before they both burst out laughing, and Daichi rubs his face, feeling a little giddy and very warm. We're both idiots, aren't we? The biggest idiots, Suga confirms. Daichi settles down on the sofa again, comfortable and smiling, and only now does he realize how easy it is talking to Suga. Everything else might cause him a headache, but this is like smiling when you were happy. Something that simply happened and made you feel good. You freaked out Asahi and Yachi. I knew about Asahi, but who's Yachi? A friend of mine and another neighbor. She was pretty convinced they were poisoned. The guy who gave me the recipe insisted on sticking to it. I'm pretty sure poison wasn't on there anywhere. That's nice, 'cause I would have eaten them anyway, probably. What a great way to go out. That'd be too bad, though. Yeah, actually. There's still so many cookies to eat and cats to adopt. Daichi laughs because he feels so good, just because it's so nice to hear Suga's voice again. And because he's still so ridiculous. Speaking of how nice not dying is, how's your plant? Shit. Daichi, go water it. This is insane. Do I have to call you any time your plant needs water? Actually, I wouldn't object. There it is. The question, finally. Are we going to be talking more from now on? Well, I have a duty then. Sugawara Koushi, guardian of the plants. The next day, a very flustered Asahi brings Daichi a small yellow watering can. He manages to keep the laughter in for the time it takes Asahi to leave, And then Daichi laughs until he cries and puts it in his bag to take home. He calls Suga in the evening. Nice color. I know, right? Don't you just love bright colors in winter? This has been the end of Chapter 3.